It's really loud.
Oh shoot, that's me. I totally forgot. Welcome to oh my gosh, that's brilliant. All right, folks, where are we at here? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Nintendo Dads episode 409, recorded January 12th, 2023. On tonight's episode, we talk about Ubisoft's disappointing sales. Pokemon's getting a patch. We talk about our 2022 predictions, Winner Is You Championship, and you get to hear our 2023 predictions for Nintendo. Jesse, cue the music.
Here we go. I'm not going to do the DK rap. I'm not doing it. It says here in the notes, Marty, do the DK rap. I'm not doing it, Justin. I'm not.
I didn't put it in there.
It says it right here. Anyway, you're listening to Nintendo Dads episode 409. It's January 12th, 2023. And I'm excited to be back. The news of my demise has been greatly exaggerated. I wonder which one of you started that rumor. But well,
Hundo P.
Well, I am so glad to be back, and I look. The holidays are crazy, schedules are weird, but here we are to talk about what was in 2022 with our predictions, or maybe wasn't, and our 2023 predictions, and a lot more. Joining me on the show tonight, all the way from the icy white catacombs of the frozen tundra of Canada, it is Justin Masson, who, as soon as I introduced him, got distracted.
Sorry, my child like literally kind of threw my door. She's like, "Mom's ready to get out of the hot tub. Go close the hot tub." So, oh, okay. Hi, how are you, folks? What's going on? What? Hello. Hi. What? How are you? What is going on? I got distracted. I don't know.
Things are well.
Fine.
Go ahead
Things
and do
are well.
your intro
Thanks.
and then go close the hot tub. So it doesn't
It's actually not cold here today. Despite my wife being in a hot tub. Yeah, it's going great. It's good to see everybody. I always like this time of year. I always like predictions time. I was saying in the pre-show that I got to go listen to last year's prediction episode, and we have just so much energy and faith in Nintendo, and boy do they disappoint. And like literally several times during me re-listening to our show, I laughed out loud. Like, why did we think they would do that? That is ridiculous. That is not what they did at all. So today is all about wild speculations and disappointment. Sort of like relationships, really.
It's like love.
That's exactly. I was gonna say it was like marriage, but then I was like,
wild
this could get uncomfortable real fast.
And disappointment. I think that's a show title, Jesse. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Speaking of throwing it out there, also from the somewhat icy, somewhat frozen catacombs of the north, Tim Off. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. I'm actually was tired. I actually took a little bit of a nap earlier because of my brain has been on overload all week because I got some new responsibilities at work since coming back to work. So it's good to not think about that stuff and think about our predictions and video games again.
do your new responsibilities also come with more sacks of bunnies?
Sure.
You get more monies?
Yeah, no, I don't. Not officially. It's because it's a position that is new for me, so it's not like I have experience in this. So it's more of me learning from my boss and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting.
It's one of those things.
Yes.
Okay.
Those things. So
I see. I see. Does your boss listen to this show?
Who knows? Possible. He knows I do this.
Okay.
So
Then I won't say anything then.
we could talk about it in post show.
Yeah. Speaking of bosses who do listen to the show, Nintendo Dad's Employee of the Year, 7 years running, Jesse Waldack. How you doing, buddy?
Unless he's a mystery $10 patron, then he could hear the post show too.
True.
That is true.
He could be.
It's scary. He could be out there.
Justin is really my boss, everybody. I'll let it out of the bag. He's really my boss. I work for him. That's why I have to do everything he says.
How is that? How is that working for Justin?
Well, since he's not here at the moment, I can,
I was going to say, Tim, this is a safe place. You can,
I
can
can
say whatever.
Except for he'll probably listen to the show a year from now.
He never listens to this. Oh, that's true. That's true. He did say he listened to 2022 prediction. Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say then. Because I'll get repercussions of things that I don't remember saying a year from now.
In 2024.
Yes. So, but Jesse, what's going on, man?
I'm not used to working a full week. This is like the first full week I've had since August, and even next week is Monday's a holiday, so 4-day week again.
That's right.
And then I've already got
us banks get that.
Yeah, I've already got my my holiday calendar is, all the bank holidays. I've got that in the calendar. I've already got half my vacation time planned out.
He's back. Don't.
Okay.
Don't say it.
I see that.
He's back.
I see that.
What do we doing here, guys?
Well, nothing, Justin.
Nothing.
Am I going to have to rewind the tape and I'm going to be angry at all of you?
Nothing.
No, we just figured you'd listen to this in a year from now.
Yeah, next year when you listen to it, you'll know.
Yeah, you'll know. if not before then.
Yeah, you don't think I listen to our episode every after it goes live every single time?
I don't.
Nope.
Do you?
Sometimes I do, just to say hey, how did that joke or that comment actually land? Because it sounded better in my head, and then I just completely destroyed Tim with that comment. So
I normally don't listen to the shows that I'm on.
Well,
Justin does a random QA of our episodes.
Yeah, it really is. It's just double check. Still meeting quality, I guess.
It's quality control.
Yeah, exactly. Who do I have to apologize for?
Marty, how you doing?
Yeah. You know what? I'm good. The weather here today, it dropped 30 degrees in about 5 hours. Yeah. So we had some storms come through. Nothing serious, nothing like out in California. Man, I don't know if you guys have seen all of our friends out there dealing with, I read earlier, 24 trillion gallons of water have fallen on California in the last week and a half. It's crazy.
That is
but
nuts.
So it was good to get the rain, but it's cold outside now. It's been a long week. I start school back next week. And one of the classes I need to get into is full, so I'm on a wait list. That's always fun, finding out that hey, it might take you longer to get done with this thing now, because it wasn't great. But I'm here with you guys, so we're going to do a show. We're going to talk about Nintendo, because that's what we do.
He's here for a good time.
Yep.
Not a long
here
time.
For a long time. No. So, speaking of our real bosses, let's talk about them as we dive into the news, shall we?
Yes, do that. We should do that.
And you're not our bosses. You're actually our friends over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you can join in and become a patron of the show. Get exclusive insider perks like access to the best Discord on the internet, full access to that Discord, all the sub channels, pre and post show audio each and every week, as well as an art card every quarter, or like our 3 Patreon producers who got messages in their inbox this week over on patreon.com/NintendoDads. You can actually schedule your chance to be on the show. And gentlemen, I'm going to throw this out here and just let you know about something so that you can be preparing for this in the coming weeks. We are going to have
Keanu Reeves,
a lady on the show.
Okay.
We're going to have a lady on the show. And that means that you need to shape up or ship out. All right.
Okay.
You cannot treat our Patreon producer, Jacqueline, like you treat Adam Leonard.
Sorry. I feel like this is a conversation directed at me.
No.
You know, when you're
Jesse's so ugly to Adam every time that he comes on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now.
That's where Eric comes out.
You need to be on your mind your P's and Q's. You need to cross your I's and dot your T's.
This definitely feels like when the entire the entire class gets lectured and there's just really one kid that's a troublemaker, but like you're all getting the same message. You know what you did. You know who you are.
You know what you did. You know who I'm talking to. And if you feel guilty, well, it's probably about you.
Yeah. Interesting.
I can tell you that as someone who leads children and teenagers, I have said those exact words before in my life. I've said, if you feel guilty, then I'm probably talking about you and to you.
Wow. Interesting, like Nintendo Dad's history fact, Jacqueline will have only ever been the second woman to have been on our show before.
That's true. That is very true. Who was our first?
There you go. Chat, let me know. Discord and Twitch chat or in YouTube chat. Who was our first one? That's a little bit of Nintendo Dad's trivia. First winner gets a prize.
Can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. Is this a deep dive?
This isn't a deep. Well, no, this isn't part of like the 8 years of Nintendo Dad's lore, but like a true fan would know who our very first woman is. Also, statistically, that's not great for us regarding our diversity spectrum.
Have I been on the show?
Yeah, you were on the show.
I remember this.
You should remember this.
I thought we. Well, I have an answer in my head.
I'm waiting for the chat to catch up.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I have an answer in my head, but I thought we had one before that too.
First person in the Twitch chat or YouTube chat that names it, we will send you $20 eShop gift card. We'll figure out how we do that.
Ooh.
What, are we just throwing this out in 2023, or are we just
making it rain? Making it rain.
I need that.
I think this is Mecha Dragon's answer to the question of, is this pre-recorded? Because he wasn't expecting us to roll with an opener.
Yeah,
oh, sure.
Hey, so while we're waiting on the answer, let's dive into some news. You be sure to head over to patreon.com/NintendoDads and dive into helping us out over there. You can subscribe. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Japanese retail sales have surpassed retail sales of Pokemon Sword and Shield in just the first 8 weeks. So much for a broken game, right? I mean, yes, it's still, horribly broken.
And that kind of surprises me.
People really love Pokemon.
Yeah. And that kind of surprises me because I would have thought that digital sales would have gone more. And so if that's the case, that means that sold a lot more than Sword and Shield.
It's all retail sales so that they can trade it in later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
right.
It's worth more.
And I'm sure this is a lot of gifts to kids during the holidays, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But, well, I guess Christmas isn't as big of a thing in Japan as it is.
I would really love to see, I'm waiting for the end of March to see the sales numbers for Pokemon and compare them to Sword and Shield. When that came out.
Yeah, because
it's going to be interesting.
Because we'll get some numbers in the beginning of February, the first weekend of February. It won't be official numbers for Scarlet and Violet yet, but there might be unofficial numbers mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
News alert. Winner.
Mikey Dreamer has.
Mikey Dreamer.
I know that guy.
Krista.
It was Krista. It took me a minute.
Yeah.
It was just a minute. It took me a minute. But yeah.
A Nintendo minute?
It was a Nintendo Minute.
Ooh.
Apparently not, because they're all private. All those videos are private.
I was going to say right now
Right.
it's currently the only Nintendo Minute that you
Right.
can find on YouTube. Speaking of Pokemon Scarlet,
how do we get Mikey Dreamer's information? Can we DM or whisper or something so that we can find out?
I have his info.
Okay. Mikey, hey,
Yeah.
Mikey, look at me. How you doing? Good job. Well done, buddy. Congratulations. Winner is you. If for some odd reason you don't get the gift card, it's Marty's fault. Blame him. He didn't do his job effectively enough. So Marty's got you, is what we're being told. But like, good luck. All right, you know what I'm saying? Good luck. Have you heard? He's heard what's going on right now. Like he's got a lot going on his plate right now. So
I'll take care of it.
Well, at least he'll get all of his $20 instead of missing part of it, like me sending stuff and missing part of it.
Yeah, listen, you're also on my list right now. All right,
Tim. Listen, leadership is letting people down at a rate that they can handle. So you just leave it there. I was going to mention plans for a bug fix patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are due by the end of February, and so hopefully this is going to address. It's in line with Nintendo's comments of, hey, we're listening, we're committed to fixing this. And so hopefully this will be continued improvement. But at this point, pretty much all the people that are going to really complain about it, how it will have already beaten the game. So, yeah.
Well, potential DLCs will be announced likely at the end of February, because they like to do, Pokemon Company likes to do their announcements around Pokemon Day.
Can we talk about this 1,000th Pokemon here too? Can we sit in this pocket and talk about this thing that got revealed today?
I saw this part of that video. I haven't seen. It was that video that I was watching. Name? Oh, I don't know which one. Oh,
what are you guys talking about?
There's the 1,000th Pokemon in the Pokédex.
It's Gimmighoul's evolution, but I don't remember what its name was.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Here we go. It's Goldingo. It's Goldingo. It is made out of 1,000 Goldingo. And it looks like a giant living stalk of gold celery made up of 1,000 gold coins. That's literally what it is. The bio says.
Yeah. So
it's made up of 1,000 coins that it throws at its enemies.
Yeah, I haven't evolved it. It's a really pain to do so.
Yeah.
You have to collect 999 Gimmighoul coin. I think I have
this is
300 or 400.
This is Pokemon Scarlet Violet's version of Golden Poop.
Yes. Except for you don't have to get them one at a time. Sometimes you can get them in groups of 50s or 60s.
Sure. I gotcha. Well, that's out there. Go and grab your golden celery poop Pokemon. I don't know. Let's move on to some other news here. This one's kind of, I think we can sit in the pocket for this one here a while, especially with Justin being here. Ubisoft announced this week that Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Just Dance 2023, quote, underperformed. Ubisoft's CEO says, we are clearly disappointed by our recent performance. We are facing contrasted market dynamics as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and everlasting live games in the context of worsening economic conditions affecting consumer spending. Despite excellent ratings and player,
I have issues with that statement, but I'll get to them later.
We're going to come back to that statement. As well as ambitious marketing plan, we are surprised by Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope's underperformance in the final weeks of 2022 and early January. Just Dance 2023 underperformed as well. As a result of this, this is not in the quote, we're just news here. As a result of this, Ubisoft went on to cancel 3 unannounced games, but yet again delayed Skull and Bones, which at this point has to be someone has made a blood pact to make sure that Skull and Bones gets released. And it is now getting delayed into 2024. Y'all, let's talk about this. I have multiple thoughts on this, but I'd love to hear what you think first. Jesse, you are the first one that spoke up, said that you particularly take umbrage at that first part of that quote. What do you think?
Well, the people don't want more live games. The publishers want more live games because they think they can wring every living dollar and pound and euro and yen out of their player base. You know, I've tried one once, hated it, will never touch them again. You know, I even tried Genshin Impact because it was a free download. I fell asleep during the intro. So yeah, my mind wasn't in it, and but yeah, these and people. I don't know. I don't understand why people are still actually giving them money for this. You know, so obviously, yeah, there is a group of people out there who like this sort of thing, but it is, I think it is a detriment to the industry to have these type of games out here.
What type of games are you referring to specifically here, Jesse?
Well, like anything that doesn't have an end, and like as microtransactions, it has continually added content.
So just so I understand your context here, or your argument, is that live service games, a la Fortnite, Call of Duty, League of Legends, Overwatch, Apex Legends.
Not as much League of Legends because that is more like competition games, and same with Call of Duty. In most cases, there is in a competition there is an end to it, and then you just start over. But like the Genshin Impact, the Destiny 2, that is like player versus environment type of games that just
Candy
keeps
Crush.
Well, mobile games are their own different beast.
Well, yeah, but that's where it started, correct?
The mobile, mobile's where it started. But then of course, mobile where it started, where it was a free to download game with microtransactions, and then the big publishers said, "Oh, let's charge $70 for a game and still tack on microtransactions. Why not?" And y'all, if y'all been listening to the show for a while, you know my stance on microtransactions. It's like Jimquisition level of hate.
Them, y'all.
So just so I understand here, Jesse, your commentary here is that games such as that has forced Ubisoft to struggle in regards to their current offering?
Well, they're blaming people not buying single player games because they quote unquote want the end.
Yeah. So let's talk about Elden
I don't buy
Ring.
that.
Let's talk about God of War. Let's talk about what do you like? Here's the reality of it, Ubisoft. You've become stale. You have become.
Can I say this here?
Go ahead.
Just Dance has been around since the early days of the Wii.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
that brand's gone stale.
Really care about that anymore.
Well,
number 2,
they added a subscription layer to that too, which probably started the downfall.
Yeah, Just Dance Unlimited is it's a big deal. Locking songs behind a paywall, basically. That's a huge deal. We got Just Dance 2023. Ubisoft provided us a code. And my daughter is not a huge gamer, but I will say this: she plays Clubhouse games and Animal Crossing just about every day. She's like one of the few people in America that's still playing Animal Crossing, and she has barely touched Just Dance 2023. Like, the only time she really has touched it, like, she doesn't play it by herself. She plays it when people are around, like if a friend is over or family's over. This is the second thing I was going to say, and I had to go back and think about this for a little bit, but I'm going to say this: I loved Mario and Rabbids, the first one, Kingdom Battle. I have realized starting this year, because I've been playing Sparks of Hope, I am having to force myself to play this game. It was.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since our New York trip.
Y'all, it's not good. And I know there's people in our community who are rabid fans of it, pun intended.
Pun intended.
But there is so much from the first game that has changed. I don't know if you guys got this week. I actually got a survey request from Ubisoft this week where it was a 5 to 7 minute survey completely on Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope that evolved into like a 20-minute survey because I said yes, I will provide more answers. And it was all about the satisfaction level with the game, whether you liked certain elements of it. And as I filled that survey out, that's when I kind of began to realize I don't really like this. Like this kind of flopped for me in the end. I mean, it's fun to play, but there's so much of it, the other elements that I just find really annoying or really unappealing. I just kind of feel like it lost the plot in a lot of ways from the first one. I mean, there's some things I wish they'd keep, but I've mentioned this a couple times. Like it drops you right in the middle of the story. You don't know what's going on in the beginning. There's way too much focus on the Rabbids and not enough focus on the Mario part of the universe. The weapon progression means nothing after the first game, where you had to like buy new weapons to power them up, and you still had a skill tree. The game caps you at level 30, and you can't even finish the skill tree for all of the characters. It's like, what I want to say is like, it took that long to put this game out, and this is what we got. And so I think that blaming other services and other games, it's cop out. Long story short, I think it underperformed because it's not good.
And I have another thought about why Sparks of Hope didn't sell as well as I thought, because Ubisoft probably shot themselves in the foot by constantly putting the first game on sale for $20. So people are like, I'll wait until it's $20.
Well, I mean, that was
so many online comments that have said that exact same thing.
Yeah,
I'll buy it when it's $20.
And that was the thing that I think really occurred for, they had the Christmas sale, and it was the gold edition was 22% off. Like, I was like, this game's been out for less than 2 months. Are you kidding me? I think here's the other thing that I think we have to look back at, and I think Ubisoft has to kind of realize. The original Mario and Rabbids came out in August of 2017. The Nintendo Switch had only been on the market for about 5 months grand total. There had not yet been a Mario game. This was Mario's actually first introduction, other than Mario Kart, on the Switch. And it was kind of lightning in a bottle, right? Like this idea that sounded really horrible actually worked really, really well. And I think at that point, no one really knew if the Switch, like we didn't know. I mean, we knew Odyssey was coming, but we know how it was going to be, what the quality of the game was. We had a third party that was supporting it, which was unlike the Wii U generation. And it scored really, really well. And so I think people just kind of naturally came to it and naturally became attracted to it as well. So I think that was, I think so. So you kind of have to realize that was a moment in time, I think, for Ubisoft and Nintendo. I think Ubisoft has become very stagnated in their approach and their kind of annualization of their content. And it's so funny that they're angry about like the games as services and single player games are dead. Really? Because I'm sure Assassin's Creed does really well on their sales, right? We know Valhalla. We know all those games do very well. You keep going back to the bank for all of these same products time and time again, whether it's Far Cry, right? And like all of these, they have become the cookie cutter of gaming. And I think that unfortunately that has come to a point where like, I like cookies, I've had too many and I'm kind of done with it. Right. Like, and their ever same approach of, we're going to put out a game. And by the way, here's the pass. Here's the strategy. Here's the extra $40 I want from you. And we're going to add all these other contents and season passes. That is part of their DNA. And I think that in the world that we are now doesn't necessarily work the same way. And I think that they are struggling to understand what their identity is. They have some impactful and huge IPs. No one doubts the impact of Assassin's Creed. Those games do well and they sell well, right? And people are excited for them. No one doubts stuff like Far Cry. Those sell very, very well. Rainbow Sixes do okay, right? and I mean, if you want to make an argument, Rainbow Six is their equivalent of Fortnite or any game because it's a battle royale, or not battle royale. It's season pass. It's battle pass. So I think this
their military
comment
shooter game
is a lot. Yeah, this comment here is a lot of PR word salad garbage, which is I think that you can't necessarily blame the game. I think it was a good evolution. I think it was approachable. I think they did a great job with the characters, and they improved on before. And the other reality is by the way, look at when the game came out in the market. There was a bunch of other games that hit that time as well, right? Like Persona 5, hit right around that time. Like there's a ton of games hitting around that time. So, and when you released it in August of 2017, there wasn't as many, right? The market was different.
And do you guys remember when Mario and Rabbids got announced for the first time, and like Miyamoto himself literally showed up with the cannon, the arm cannon, with the Ubisoft president and David Soliani sitting in the audience, and they did all of this huge hubbub about it, and then this one came out and there was nothing.
Yeah,
I think they kind of knew. I think they kind of knew that maybe it was gonna. I won't say it's gonna bomb, because in and of itself, here's the thing: in and of itself, it's not a bad game, but it's not what I expected, and so I guess maybe that's why I have a bad taste in my mouth after it so long with it. I mean, it's
Metacritic score is good,
and maybe that's what it is that it's fine, but it's not like great.
But
the first one I could put down. This one I'm having to fight to finish.
But I will say to you though, like, and this is the argument. Like I just put in Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope in Google, and the first thing that comes up is an ad for Best Buy where it is $50 and it is on sale from $80. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you like, and I mean, we even said it on our show. Hey, if you don't want to pick it up now, wait, because it will go on sale. Right. And so it'll be interesting. Like, I think it'll be very interesting to see
it's $30 here in the States right now at GameStop.
Yeah.
$29.99.
It'll be very, like, that's a great price for that game.
It is a great price at it. Like, here's the thing. To me, it kind of feels like Sonic Frontiers. Like, I picked up Sonic Frontiers for PS5. It was on sale for $30 at Amazon. I picked it up. There's nothing really wrong with Sonic Frontiers. It doesn't feel like a game I want to play. Does that make sense? Like like I want to play it. I want to like it, but it just doesn't. It's just, and maybe that's a conversation about backlogs that we need to have at some point. Of when do we just drop games off our backlog and say, okay, I know I spent, because I feel like part of the reason that we all have backlogs is because we feel an obligation to finish those backlogs because, we spent so much money. I spent this money. Like I paid $65 for this. I need to finish it.
Yeah, well, there are some games, for the indies and things like that. I might buy a game knowing I'll never play it, but just I want to support the developer, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I don't do it often, but I have done that before. Like I know last year alone, I probably bought 5 or 6 games that I'd never even got around to starting. In fact, one of the games,
even
John Wall mentioned on his show this week about that I think with Arcade something. That's a game I bought and I wanted to play and just never didn't get around to it.
My son even said this unprompted on the way in to record the show tonight. He's up here hanging out while I record, and he said, he said, I just feel like gaming is kind of falling off. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, well, like a lot of games that look good aren't fun. And he's like, I honestly feel like indie games are better than AAA games because like they actually have concepts that are fun, and
the boy is wise for his age.
And he mentions, he goes, he's like, that new Callisto Protocol game. He's like, that's just quick time events, the game. And I was like, wow. Okay. And I was like,
well, again, a lot of the publishers will make a game purposely less fun to make you want to buy microtransactions to speed things up, get more XP, lessen the grind, etc.
I hate to be the person that says this. Welcome to the business of video games. Right? Welcome to the business of video games. It's not about money.
It's not a good
revenue.
practice.
It's about understanding that idea, like decisions that are made at AAA levels are not made on, hey Marty, what do you think would be really awesome for the folks? Right? Like how do you think this should work? Right? It is good fun. But our spreadsheets show that if we put them in this scenario, this will most likely create the most monetization available. Like it's here's the really kind of funny part about it. Does anyone here watch Mythic Quest? Right, it's on Apple TV.
Not since season 1.
So here's the funny part about Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest is a fictitious video game company that's working on a game. It's funded by Ubisoft. First, let's start with that one, right? They're the sponsor. They're the funding.
I forgot about that.
And here's the irony of it. They literally have a department called monetization. And in the most recent season, they basically say, well, if we do this and we do this, this is good for the player. But also if we do this and we charge this amount of money, and they're like literally watching these bar graphs go up. Right. And it's funny because you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's an evil. This company is sort of evil, but they have to survive and all this kind of things, blah, blah, blah. But then you're like, that is Ubisoft. That is Ubisoft down to a T.
It's not just Ubisoft. Most of them are.
Ubisoft is in the list. Is kind of the one that we always picture as the evil villainous twirling the mustache thing, right? And I think that unfortunately they have built that reputation, and they've built that by repetitive behaviors where we talk about monetization in regards to player base. It's not necessarily, decisions aren't necessarily made about what's fun, what's the best thing for the player, but basically how can I monetize, right? And that's the unfortunate part of it. We're a small indie studio is kind of just about like, the game is the game. Here it is, right? It is done, but let's just have a good time with it. Let's figure out the best way to make a game. And I think that dynamically changes how you look at things. Mikey Tech Mike says video game companies want money. They don't care about the gamer or the games they put out. I would tend to agree with, I think there are some exceptions, but like we have to understand the baseline of everything here is money. Baseline of every decision is to become profitable to shareholders.
Well, even modern Nintendo is getting more towards that. We never would have seen this under
feel as
Iwata.
Predatory.
But two CEOs down, we're starting to see this.
Yeah, totally unrelated note here, but like there's this movie that Ubisoft funded. Have you guys seen it?
No. Which one is it?
It's called Werewolves Within. And it is a movie about these people. This guy, he gets sent to this town. He becomes a ranger, and all these people get locked in a mansion, and one of them is a werewolf. And it's actually really funny. It's like a very dark comedy, but then there's at the end, like the movie's over and it pops up and it says Ubisoft. And it's based off a VR game that they developed called Werewolves Within.
Interesting.
So strange.
Wow. I thought I'd throw in before we move on, because we mentioned the Metacritic score, but we didn't say what it was. The critic score is 86. The user score is 7.6, which are both very good scores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just, I think people are just waiting for it to go on sale, because that's what Ubisoft has told people they're going to do.
Yeah, it's Pavlov's dog. Ring a bell and I'll salivate, right? Like your behavior has shown that you will do this time and time again. So why am I dropping X dollar? Unless you want to be in that conversation, unless you're maybe a content creator like us who want to be in that conversation at that exact same time, you have your genuineness for it, then pull the trigger. But if you're like, no, I'll wait 4 months and I'll get it for $20, right? Like, sure. Yeah, you will. Like that's one of the things when like the eShop has sales. I look, I'm like, hey, what does Ubisoft got? Oh shoot, that's a great game. I haven't picked that up. Oh, for $5, yeah, I can do that. I just won't have my Starbucks today, right? And you're like,
Right.
there we go, we're solid.
Yeah, there's a game that I just picked up for $5.99 on the eShop because it was on sale, and it's 4 or 5 years old, and I've been wanting to play it, but hey, that's the right price.
Which one's that?
So, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Nice.
It's $5.99, like a week ago, and so
they say no to that.
Well, let's move on. Let's talk about a few more little news nuggets here, Justin. A little more business things in the pocket here. It was reported in the UK last year that 89.5% of all game sales were digital. Now, this number does not, or it does include digital only storefronts such as Steam, Apple App Store, Google Play, different things like that. But that seems like a really high number.
Mm-hmm.
Or does
I think because of the digital only storefronts included, the number is meaningless. I am more interested in knowing Nintendo, Sony, Xbox. What's that percentage? That's the one I'm interested in. I don't care about Steam and Apple and Google because they are 100% digital.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would be curious, and I also wonder if like at what of the three franchise sells the most physical. I suspect it's Nintendo, right? And my only kind of basis there might be like it's mom and pa doesn't quite understand how digital works, so I'm getting them a Nintendo game that's easy for me to understand. And I think your target audience for PlayStation and Xbox are typically mature teenager, older gamers who understand the intranet and understand digital storefronts and understand, preloading and all of those things.
Since the previous gen, Xbox and PlayStation, the data on the disc is essentially meaningless. It gets patched day one. It's just a game key. So
yeah.
whether they buy it digital or physical, they're still playing it off of an installed game on a hard drive.
Yeah, and I think as something that we saw definitely did increase that usage and of digital sales and digital usage and during the pandemic, people just kind of became like, oh, this works the same as my iPhone or whatever it is. Oh, I get it. Okay, I'll just keep doing this, right? This is easy, right? We live in a world of convenience. What is the least amount of friction or challenges that face me to do the thing I want to do? Right? Like how many of us, even ourselves, have been like, oh, that game's out. I'll just go to my phone, click, download, and you get a little thing saying it's downloading to your device. Cool. Bye-bye later. Right? Like I'll do, so I think that is such a continued growth market. And I'm not overly shocked by it. I mean, you look at, the Series S doesn't even have drive in it. Right.
And the rumor is future PlayStation 5s will not have a disk drive.
A disk drive in it either.
You buy the disk drive separately if you want a disk version.
Yeah, like so I mean, and I think this just aligns with the continued usage that we see that overall physical media is beginning to dissipate, right? In regards to like, when was the last time you all bought a CD? No, you don't, because you have a streaming service, right? When was the last time you bought a DVD? Probably not, because you have a streaming service, right? All of those things kind of begin to change, and so I think that Nintendo or video games kind of maybe getting close to one of the last great bastions of like, no, we just kind of just do this digitally now. And I think things like Game Pass continue to move us into that idea of subscription models and understanding of it. Stadia and Luna, those platforms that are completely cloud-based and digital, understanding that, and Steam, right? Like you can't go down to Best Buy and get a Steam game, right? Like those are all purchased at digital sales fronts. So the industry continues to move that way. Consumers are becoming more educated and moving that way as well. And everyone's going to come out with their pitchforks. I mean, am I saying physical is dead? No, physical will still exist. And we know that there are niche industries like, oh my gosh,
Limited Run.
Thank you, Limited Run, and all these organizations that create physical cartridges. But I'm not shocked by these.
I just thought of something.
Yeah,
we've seen Switch games on a shelf with no cart in it, but instead a code
Mhm.
for download.
Mhm.
Does Nintendo treat that as a digital sale or a physical sale?
Ooh, that's a great question. I bet you they count it as a physical sale because there's a box associated with it. As long as there is a physical box, I'm only speculating, but I bet you Nintendo's metric is.
I would bet that
box,
if they're
we good.
going through the trouble of having it physically on the shelf with a box, that's going to count as a physical sale.
Yeah, and and I agree, or at least not. I believe that Nintendo also has the highest retail, and they normally tell us every quarter that it's around 50 or 55% of sales are digital. So still the majority are digital, but they still have a lot of physical. But I'd be interested to know what the others
Let's
are.
get physical. And then I think just more and more you just have games that just don't even offer physical versions at all in any ways. They are just eShop darlings.
Call of Duty should have just done that. Instead, they put a dual layered Blu-ray drive that has 10 megs of data on it.
And then I
literally your key.
And I think the other part of it that I mean, so if you're a person who's like, no, I want, I'm in this conversation with everybody else. I want to have this, I'm playing the same game. I'm going to use Tunic as a great example. There's no physical version of Tunic, right? So when that game came out, if I was like, no, I'm waiting for the physical version, y'all are playing it, and we're all friends and content creators or whatever it is,
you'll be waiting
to have a conversation. Exactly, we're not going to do it, right? So there's games that you're like, I'm just going to pull the trigger, and then they're really hoping for the double dip, right? And sure, Jesse and Tim, you guys are great examples of Inscription, right? Like, so I'm not shocked by any of these things nowadays. I'm
still proud. I am proud of myself. I did not triple dip that game.
Look at how Nintendo has kind of already set themselves up for this too. Like if you go to the eShop, look at the two bestseller categories, right? You have bestsellers, and then you have digital only bestsellers.
Yeah,
and
that's a great point.
Sometimes there's overlap, but a lot of times there's a lot of difference there because of sales or because of availability or whatever you're looking at there. I mean, I think there's the acknowledgement of, hey, we know we're headed this way, but there's always going to be people who want to hold on to the physical. I don't think they're wrong because there's games that you just won't be able to play, and that's sad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shock me. I just still think that number's a smidge high. I don't know. Speaking of mobile and digital, a new mobile Dragon Quest game is to be announced January 18th by Square Enix. So if you're a fan of the series, you want to be watching out for that. And then if you're one of our listeners in...
I wanted to say, Square Enix does not have the best track record for games as a service games. I think, isn't one of your games from the Critic game last year that they released, and they literally released and shut down 2 games within a year. Like Chocobo Racing, and then Babylon's Fall, maybe was it? Is there something else?
And they're shutting down the Octopath game, the mobile game.
Yeah. So 3. So why would anyone trust them to make a mobile game?
Well, they're obviously shutting all those down for Dragon Quest.
Well, see, I've played Dragon Quest Tax for almost 2 years. They're doing their 2-year celebration now. I stopped playing it. I was a daily player. I haven't played a game that hard since EverQuest. I stopped playing it around Thanksgiving because the game would crash every 5 minutes. I'm like, I am done with this. Apparently, it's something that's a known issue with older tech. This is not the newest iPad, but maybe 3 or 4 years old. It should still work just as well. People are saying, "Oh, it works on my iPhone 13, but it crashes on my iPhone 7." It's a reproducible error. They just don't care. They've had multiple months to address this thing. It started with 2.0. They're in 3.1 right now. So this has been going on for over a year. This is the same
company that won't add controller support to Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster when there's controller support on other games. And almost every review of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster on the iOS App Store, almost every other review needs controller support. Support. This has been going on for a year and a half. They will not fix it.
Yeah, and I was one of their whales. I put a lot of money into that game where I literally just said I am done and dropped it. Well, so I have no faith in Square Enix right now.
Yep.
give me a single player game that ends. Give me Dragon Quest 3 HD. Give me Dragon Quest 10 offline. Re-release Chrono Trigger. I don't care.
No,
but
they want that live service, dude.
But they want the live services that they're not even willing to support themselves. So how can people trust them?
They can't.
Jesse's
but
just
they're still going to throw money at them
today.
Yep,
I love it.
If you're one of our listeners in Europe, you have an upcoming game trial. Uno. This is totally out of the blue. Uno.
Speaking of Ubisoft.
Next game trial from January 19th through January 26th. You can download this game. It's completely free. You can play the full version of the game for that week. I'm sure there will be some platinum coin challenge linked to it in the the Nintendo Online app thing on your Switch. But you can go check that out, and it's pretty okay on Switch. I actually have this game, so I like it.
Sammy and I play this a lot on our Switches together. So
you should go check it out. It's pretty cool. Well, guys, that's our news. With that being said, we're going to take a very quick ad break for our friends from Manscaped.
Hey, folks, support Nintendo Dads is brought to you by Manscaped. All right, folks, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's to you and from you and our friends over at Manscaped. The ball has officially dropped, but that doesn't mean that you need to drop the ball on your balls in 2023. That's right. Whether you had a New Year's kiss or not, the leaders in below the waist grooming have you covered for your much needed resolution to bring sexy back in 2023. Join the over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. Let us have a toast for you and a new you as well. Folks, hey, you've got some New Year's resolutions. You want to add things to your routine, make yourself a better self. We highly recommend the products over at Manscaped. They have tremendous quality. We use them almost every single day. They aren't, again, of course, they are below the belt trimming, and they're known for that, or below the waist trimming, and they know for that. But they have so many other amazing products, whether it is the body wash, whether it's the deodorant, chapstick, shampoo, sprays, foot sprays, actual like razors. They have got a ton of amazing products for you to use, and they're great looking. They have a tremendously fantastic smell to them. It's one of those things where, like, I finish showering up and I'm like, that is a good earthy smell. Like, it smells good. And I like it. And so I would encourage you to head over to Manscaped. If you haven't done it before, again, treat yourself, right? Go over there. They've got the package, the Performance Package 4.0. It's got the Weed Whacker in there. It's got the Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a ton of other great products. Usually they throw in a free pair of boxers and the Tool Shed, which is your carrying bag for your toiletry bag. So many tremendous products. So again, head over to manscaped.com. Use the promo code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, we highly recommend Manscaped. We were using the products before they even sponsored us, but we're so thankful for their support, and we think you will absolutely love their products as well. Again, big thanks to Manscaped for their continued support of our show. Back to you.
All right, guys. That's right. You know what time it is? It's time to discuss something. Last week on the show, you guys got to hear our top 10 and helped us put together our Nintendo Dads top 10 of 2022. And if you haven't seen our infographic, you want to head over to our social media, either on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere else that you can find us. And you will see not only our individual top 10s, but our community top 10 as well. Tim, I know you probably have that infographic handy, right?
I can, yes. Not looking at it at the moment, but it is right here. No.
I was going to get you to read out that top 10 here online for people.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Who maybe haven't seen that image yet. Sure.
So the community, after all the tallying that Jesse's wizardry, geez, oh Pete has done. 10 is Inscription, 9 was Tunic, 8 is the Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet games. 7 was Live Alive. 6, Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, however you want to pronounce that. Number 5, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Splatoon 3 was number 1.
Good list. I like it.
Yep. Pretty good. And thanks to our community for sending in their top 10. We appreciate that. And I hate that I couldn't be here to argue with you guys over those things. And I also can't believe that I forgot Live Alive on my list.
It would have been interesting to see had you entered Live Alive on your list how that would have actually dynamically made
it would have been number 1. It would have been number 1.
Yeah, I wonder how that would have changed everything else on the list as well.
Well,
it wouldn't have changed the top 3, but I wonder like where Live Alive would have then actually landed.
No, it would definitely be higher. I'm sure. Well, guys, let's talk about our predictions for 2022. Right now, as it stands, Tim Off is our reigning.
Go get the belt. Go get the belt. Bring over the belt. We want to see it. We want to see this belt.
If you have not been following, maybe you're a new listener to the show. Last November, we were able to meet up together in New York. And one of the things that we wanted to do, we knew we wanted to do very early on, was do something special for our predictions champion each year. Something that would be more than just a clap or, a pat on the back or a little graphic or whatever. And we came up with the idea of a championship belt, much like, Ric Flair would have back in the day. And so when we met up in New York, Tim Off, our reigning Nintendo Dads, a winner is you prediction champion, was crowned and or inaugurated and given this beautiful red leather and silver belt with the Nintendo Dads logo on it. It has the Nintendo Dads mushroom on the side panels as well. And as you can see, Tim has been taking very good care of that. However, it is time tonight to see who will hold the belt for the entirety of 2023. We will literally be shipping this belt to one of us, and it will sit in a special place of honor until we read out our or see who was right on our 2023 predictions next year. I have a feeling the belt could change hands tonight. This is going to be one from the ages. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to read out our predictions from last year, and we're going to see how we did. Jesse's going to do some math, right? Can you do this math in real time?
Yeah.
Of course he can, guys. That's why he's 7-year running Nintendo Dad's Employee of the Year, right?
I want to say, I have my calculator up and ready to go.
Before we jump into it, hey, Killer Cody 93, first time chatting our Twitch. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that.
Yes,
I appreciate. I seen here LPD, Nintendo, Ninfrendo, Mikey Dreamer. I saw Sean Capri, Ebicel Tech Mike. All our fantastic Cody's in there.
Lots
as well.
of people.
Lots of people. Thanks for being here, folks.
LPD Mecca says everyone expects Tim to be the face and Justin to be the heel.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Did you get all the YouTube people too? We got Coat Alcorn and let's see who else. And you said Tech Mike.
You got all them beautiful people over there in the YouTube land watching us. Want to see who's gonna take home the gold, baby.
David B.
Yeah,
Hambone Johnny.
We're going to start with my predictions. And this is probably the ones we're starting here because it's only can go up from here.
So just for people to know, we have kind of 3 or 4 ways we do this. It's a correct, it's partially correct, it's wrong, or it's an unknown. Now you may also say like, whoa, there's a lot. Some people have a lot more votes than other people or nominations for ideas. There is then a percent that does not mean that by default they would win. We then take the number of predictions they have versus the amount that they actually have right or wrong. That equals a percentage. So despite maybe only having fewer numbers, there is still the same equal amount of chance.
Yep. So here we go. Prediction number one was new Mario Kart 9 or a new Nintendo racing game in the same vein in 2022. On 2/9/2022, Nintendo announced a booster course pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I'm saying that's partial. Can we give that a partial?
I'll give you partial.
Okay. I know it's wrong, but I think I at least deserve a partial. Prediction number two, the Super Mario movie will have a tie-in game and or new mainline Mario game will be released in 2022.
No,
that was incorrect. We'll come back to that one later on in the show. Number three, Splatoon 3 will have integrated voice chat. Wrong.
No.
Prediction number four, Metroid Prime 4 will not be released in 2022.
Correct.
Bingo. Correct. All right, at least I got one. Game Boy games will be available on Nintendo Switch Online with a new controller available. No. Number six, Mario Party DLC will include GameCube boards. No. Star Fox will be on the Switch in some form. But Justin, we don't have to play that every one of mine. It's okay. You can play it at the end if you want to. Star Fox will be on the Switch in some form. Star Fox 64 is on the Switch. That is correct.
Yeah, I guess, right? Like, yeah, you're right. All right. Was it not released prior to last year?
No, Nintendo 64 came out last year.
Really? Oh man. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Or I think it launched in late 21, but most of the new games came out in 22.
But Star Fox didn't come out till 2022.
Star Fox didn't come out till 22.
Oh, fair play to you. Well done.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I'll take what I can get. Next prediction: new exclusive battle royale like game for Nintendo Switch Online. Another 99 something. No. Next one, Nintendo's E3 will focus on Breath of the Wild 2. There was no E3, so there was no focus because they didn't even bother to do a presentation while everybody else did. Next one, Kirby Game & Watch will be released for the 30th anniversary. They barely acknowledged Kirby was alive. And last one, NES Remix will get a Switch port. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wrong and 2 correct. There you go.
2.5.
2.5 out of 11.
2.5. Was it 11? Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
22.7%.
Yay!
I love how if you look at our Twitch chat right now, they're like basically doing a wrestling match in the Twitch chat. Marty with the big leg drop. I see Marty in the turnbuckle. Justin with the elbow. Like there's a lot of
hit him with the plunder, baby. Yep. All right. So here we go. That's fine. I'm out of the match. I've been eliminated from the ring.
You're thrown over the top of the ring. Your king of the ring is done.
Yeah. Coming down the aisle from Kansas City, Missouri, Jesse the Crusher Waldack. Here we go. Number one, rumors that Mario Kart 9 is still in active development has been in the news, but active development could still take years. We will not see this game in 2022. I believe that this won't be released until the Switch successor is out. Call that correct.
Mm-hmm. That's correct so far.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yep. Okay.
Basically, I'm saying no Mario Kart 9 this year, and I was right.
Right. You're right. Number two, there will be some sort of Mario game released later this year to tie in with the movie, but it won't be Odyssey 2. That is incorrect. I love this next one. This was like ring ding dong. Since 2010, there's been a new Pokemon generation every 3 years. 2022 is 3 years since Sword Shield's release, so I predict that Gen 9 will be released this year. That is correct. Game Boy and Game Boy Color will be available on NSO, not Game Boy Advance. False. A Fire Emblem remake will be announced in 2022. Possibility Genealogy of the Holy War or Thracia 776, as opposed to a new game. Wrong.
Yeah, I went the other way. If I went the wrong, if I flipped it, I would have gotten it right. But
yep. And Final Fantasy Pixel remasters will be released on the Switch in 2022.
So
You know,
close.
Announced, but not released.
I would almost give you a half a point for the announcement. But
I won't
that's
deny it
me.
if everyone else is okay with it.
I'll give
I'm
you
gonna-
half.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So 2.5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's
It's going to be a good
percentage.
score, guys. We may not
2.5
should have
out
given
of
him the
6.
half.
Yeah, that may have killed us.
41.6%.
Jesse may be taking home the belt. He just hit his finishing move on
Yep.
us. Yep. There you go.
Wow.
Wild. All right, Justin. Here we go. The king of predictions. You made the most predictions out of anyone. Let's see. Here we go. No new Switch iterations in 2022. Correct. No new Mario Kart in 2022. We did get new Mario Kart in 2022.
We did.
So that will be wrong. Metroid Prime 4 will not release in 2022. We may see a trailer or gameplay. That is correct. More Metroid will show up in 2022. Dread DLC, Prime Trilogy. We did get new modes added to Metroid, so that is correct. Mario Party DLC will be announced standalone or included with NSO expansion pack. I'm going to give you a half point there because we got Mario Party 2 and 1 on NSO.
Okay.
If that's okay with everybody else. A half point there?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. A new Donkey Kong game will be announced in 2022. A new Monolith project in the Xenoblade universe will be announced in 2022. Bingo, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Kirby Game & Watch for the 30th anniversary. Nope. Riot Forge will announce additional games, more than 2 games already known. Wild Rift. Yeah, that did not happen. Did it?
They did. It just wasn't for us. It was for Xbox. Their agreement with them.
Breath of the Wild 2 will be released in November. Nope. And Bug Snacks on the Switch. You nailed it. 428. We got it. So, we got more.
It keeps going.
NHL 94 Rewind will release to the Switch. No. It never. It Takes Two will come to the Switch. Yes.
Yep.
Marvel's Avengers will be playable via cloud. No. And then Mario Strikers will be announced in 2022.
Boom.
The 9th of February.
And the killer shot here,
gosh.
folks. This is off the
Chicken
top
Wiggle,
rope. The people's elbow
/ Hash Tails will not be released in 2022, despite promises. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 correct. 7 wrong, 1 partial. So that gives you let's see what the percentage here is. Jesse adds it to the documents.
8.5 out of 16. It's
53.
53. 53.1.
53.1. All right.
Wow.
We saved the champ for last. The reigning prediction champions. Jesse has been eliminated, dumped to the floor. He's out of the Royal Rumble. I've been sent to the back. I'm in the showers. Tim and Justin are staring each other down. It's the Mega Powers. It's Randy Savage. It's Hulk Hogan. It's WrestleMania. Here we go. Prediction number 1 for Tim. Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, and/or Perfect Dark gets released on the Switch.
I'm going to give him half points for
give
the
him a half because that was announced. Yes. Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, and/or Perfect Dark also comes to Xbox Game Pass with crossplay. Yes.
Half.
That
I'm going to give him half on that one too.
Give him a half. Yep. That'll make a whole. On the list, but counter to Justin, another new Switch model launches this year. Nope. Surprise, a new 2D Mario game drops this year. Nope. We get another Metroid game in 2022. Nope. Justin has Tim down in the corner. He's stomping a mud hole in him and walking it dry. Game Boy games coming to NSO. Nope. However, Tim makes a comeback. A new Fire Emblem game is announced. That's correct. Another third-party gaming system will appear on Nintendo Switch expansion pack. Nope. A new Nintendogs game releases in 2022. Nope. A new remake 2D Zelda game releases this year. Nope. EA Play available on Switch. Nope. Switch will get a significant user interface update. Yes, Groups was added to the Nintendo Switch on 3/21/2022.
All right. I'll give that.
And Nintendo buys another game developer. On the 24th of February, Nintendo announced the acquisition of SRD. So Tim got a total of 3 correct and 2 partial.
4
out of 13. So
50%.
4 points out of 13.
Oh, for 13, yeah.
30.8%.
Do you hear that, guys? With 30.77%. Tim has been dethroned, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 2022's prediction season and new holder of the Nintendo Dads Prediction Championship belt, Justin Masson.
Congratulations, sir.
Boom. Thank you so much. It was a hard. Let me just get my.
No, shut up. I'm coming for you now. You're mine. You understand?
All right, I've got my speech here. I want to thank Nintendo for really just being pretty predictable. I really want to thank EA for publishing It Takes Two. I appreciate that. Monolith, I see you. I respect you. I appreciate you. Mario Kart, I didn't see you coming out of nowhere. No, don't play it off. No, don't play it off. And then one more. Big thanks to Jules Watson for just not being able to deliver a game. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 champion is you, Justin Masson. Let's go.
Go ahead, Jesse. We have a special audio file prepared for this moment when Justin does things like this. Go ahead and play it. Let him have it.
This one?
Hey, man, you boob.
You know the one.
No, you know the one.
I know. I need to find it. I buried it because
he hasn't been right in a while, so we had to. It hasn't been used, so no.
Where did I put it?
Go something like Justin is right. Justin is right. Justin is right.
Oh, here's this one.
Justin,
you boob.
No, that's not. You can't get out of here. Don't take this away from me.
I normally don't delete buttons, but I literally cannot find it.
Well, that's fair.
There it is.
Listen, it was a lot of fun. Justin was right. Yeah,
I found it.
It was a ton of fun. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. As I was looking at some of those were Hail Marys that I had no idea. Like, come on, Monolith gonna come out with a Xenoblade 3, Strikers, Chicken Wiggle, Bug Snacks. Like those were just hopes and dreams. And the fact they actually came to fruition is really
the stars have aligned.
Yeah, I also want to say, hey, kudos to Jesse, gave me a heck of a run there. That was pretty tremendous. I've just been working so hard for this moment, and I really appreciate it. So, yeah. Before we actually do our predictions, I have to step away for a couple moments. I'll be right back. If you guys want to start your predictions, and we'll snake tail around, that's great. Okay.
Perfect.
You can also now talk trash about how awesome I am. Bye.
So, as Justin mentioned, it is time for us to make our predictions for 2023. And with us going into a brand new year of video gaming, we are going to make all the predictions that will be wrong next year when we go back on the show. And yeah. So, with that being said, Justin's already mentioned how we're going to do this. We're going to do this snake draft format, which means basically, since he's out of the frame right now, I'll start. Jesse will go, then Tim, then Justin. Justin will go again, and then it will snake back to me. I'll do two until we get done with all of our predictions. Everybody okay on that? Everybody clear?
Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking. I only have 5, but so I'm not going to outright say, "Oh, I like that one. I'm going to predict it too." But if I think you're wrong, I will say, "Okay, I will counter predict that," and you have that as my prediction. So that's kind of my game plan going into this. Just because I have no imagination and only had 5 things on my list.
I actually have 11 predictions this year. I'm in Justin territory. So here we go. I will start. And I'm going to start big. Here it is. The Super Mario Brothers movie will become the highest grossing animated movie of all time. That is my first prediction.
I actually had that in my list as well. I legitimately am not copying you, but I did have. Do you know what? I've heard of another, I think on NTC. Do you know which movie currently has that title?
Yes. It is The Lion King.
And not the good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. The CG remake out boxed office the original.
Oh, I don't count that as an animated movie. I don't.
It's animated.
In fact, I now I need this to happen because that was an abomination and an affront to God. And so leave Mufasa alone. There you go.
Ooh, say it
so
again.
It's the highest grossing animated movie of all time. There you go. Jesse, you just going to count that as yours? Okay, very good. Tim, what is your prediction?
I'm going to go with this as my first one, and I'll just copy and paste it here for you, Jesse.
Thank you.
1-2 Switch sequel.
Whoa. 1-2-3 Switch.
1-2 Switch. 1-2 Switch sequel. Yes.
3-4 in the bin.
Super Switch.
What's that? What did you say, Marty?
I said 1-2 Super Switch.
1-2 Switch sequel is coming this year.
Okay. I was hoping that this would take longer and Justin would be back by now. But we'll snake back around to him.
We'll let him catch
Tim,
up, I guess.
You can go again.
Okay. I'm gonna go another one out of left field here, so just to get it out of the way. And again, I'll paste this here, Jesse. Something new and quirky.
Oh, whoa. He's back.
So all right, Justin, go for it.
Back.
Nate, Justin, you're the end of the snake, so you get to make 2 predictions.
Just want to see what you guys already have here. Tears of the Kingdom will get a Nintendo Switch SKU. So it's like the Pokemon SKUs, right? Or the one so that is one. And there will be no hardware iterations in 2022. There could be color SKUs, right? Like here's a Pokemon one, here's a Metroid one, but there's no new hardware in 2022 in regards to the Nintendo Switch. 2023. There's no new Switch Lite. There's no new OLED. Just is what it is.
All right. Good predictions. Tim, back to you.
I'm going to add this, but it's because Justin just said it too. I had the same prediction. No new Switch in 2023. I believe it's coming in 2024. So you probably expect that to be in my 2024 predictions if it holds true, because we will get a new Switch or new Switch Lite with a new processor in 2024, but not in 2023. So when you guys come back around, we can skip me or something. But my prediction that I was going to mention before Justin came back was that something new and quirky from Nintendo, a new game and or new accessory that adds to the Keep Nintendo Weird category, our friends over at All In like to talk about. So
you're just stealing somebody else's stuff to try and win, hey? Okay. All right, that's cool.
What are you talking about?
How did Nintendogs work for you? Hey, that was part of the.
How did NHL '94 coming to the Switch work for you, Justin?
Doesn't matter when you're the champion, Marty. Doesn't matter how you get there.
But it's keeping Nintendo weird. Obviously, I love their title over there. They have All In that they do. They have their little show over there. So, but I think we're going to get it's hard. Like it could be anything from like Labo to Ring Fit to something new and quirky that we can't even think of, that Nintendo is going to do. It's a new game with an accessory.
Just something that isn't a controller.
It's just something that's just like, yep, that's a Nintendo thing. It's just like, okay.
All right. Jesse.
Okay, mine is along the lines of what Justin and Tim said, but a little more specific. It says, the next generation Nintendo hardware will be announced, but not released in 2023.
Okay.
And that's exactly what my next prediction was. That a new system would be revealed in fall of 2023. Or you could just say a new system will be revealed before the end of the year, but won't release this year. But let me go ahead and add to it with my second prediction that there will be a brand new Mario game released to coincide with the release of the movie.
Well, in other words, my prediction from last year that didn't happen.
Mine too. I'm bringing it back, y'all.
So are you? So talk to me about how it's tied in. Is there like a direct? Like,
I don't think it's. I don't necessarily. No. Okay. I think it's just going to be a Mario game to capitalize on the success of the movie. I actually think it was a game that more than likely was ready to go this year or last year, which is why we didn't see like a big heavy hitter come out at the end of the year because that was supposed to be Mario. Even though, we get Pokemon. Pokemon's always in November, right? But there's in the past, there's been a big Nintendo game post Black Friday, like Smash or something like that. And that was going to be Mario to coincide with the movie. They had to change it because the movie got pushed back or the game got pushed back. And so they pushed the movie back. Who knows at this point? One day we'll read the book about the story and we'll know it all. Yeah. But there will be a new Mario game that releases to tie in to ride the wave of the movie. Okay. Back to you, Jesse.
Okay, my next one is we will get more information about Metroid Prime 4. It won't release this year. And then I have a follow-up to that I'll go with when it's my turn again.
All right, for mine, it goes along kind of with that too. Metroid Prime 4 teaser trailer or trailer drops in 2023 after Tears of the Kingdom releases.
Smart.
Yeah, since we're continuing on the Metroid train, I will say I've got double votes, right? Because on the end of it.
Yes.
I will say two things. Metroid Prime 4 will release in 2023. And it will be released in the back quarter of 2023. Ooh. So the calendar quarter, by the way, not the fiscal quarter for them. So you're looking at any time between December, November, and October will be in that release window. Actually, I'll say anything beyond. Actually, let me just adjust that. From September on to the back of the year, Metroid is released somewhere in those 4 months. My next prediction is new Donkey Kong game will be released in 2023. Also, for those of you that are playing along with the Fantasy Critic at home, those were two things that I put on my Fantasy Critic. So I really have to bet that they're going to actually occur, or else I'm not losing my Fantasy Critic.
All right, back to me. It's going to continue down the Metroid game here. So I'm still going to go with that. I thought this was coming last year, but it didn't. I'm going to still go with it. That we're going to get a Metroid game this year. Not what Justin's saying. I don't think we're getting Metroid Prime 4 this year, but I do think we are getting a Metroid game, and that is going to be some examples. So I'm going to say we'll get let me put this down here. So examples are, of course, Prime on the Switch. So I'll say IE Prime, or even the 3DS Samus Returns gets ported.
Pinball.
I love it. I would love it if we
I
got
was just
pinball.
about to say that I would not mind Samus Returns on the Switch at all. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I played Samus Returns on the 3DS before Dread came out. My hands cramped up because that's not a comfortable system to hold in a high intensity action game.
Right, and that's the thing too, is I can see the potential of them releasing the 3DS Samus Returns game updated with the Dread controls.
Ooh.
And I would be all over that for sure. So
Tim over there making me want stuff that doesn't even exist. It's probably never going to exist.
Right.
So sad.
Right. And plus, I know, that's what my heart wants for sure. And, the sales may not have made them want to do this type of thing, but I'm still looking for some of those more 3DS games that we were told we were going to get. Now, is that big, the other 3DS games that we got ported over there and that was it? No, I don't think so, but
kind of like how you remember how Detective Pikachu got announced for Switch?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Never heard about it again.
Right. But yeah, again,
it's actually a sequel too.
Yeah.
Never happened. All right, Jesse.
Okay. So yeah, to kind of piggyback on, we will get more information on Prime 4. I think in that same announcement, Prime 1 will shadow drop.
That's interesting. I would counter it's not a shadow drop. Because they're not, because if it's shadow drop, they're not pressing cartridges.
Yep.
But you do you, boo. I mean, whatever.
Are you making that a prediction?
You guys,
I'm telling you it's not digital only.
That's fine. But are you calling that a prediction?
Sure. I will say I will put the caveat this: if Metroid HD or one releases in 2023, it is not a digital only solution. Sure.
Okay. Well, you guys stole two of mine, so this is going to be easy. Donkey Kong will get a new game in 2023. And we will finally see the re-release / remake of Metroid Prime.
Okay.
Okay, what else do I have here? I have no additional retro systems will be added to NSO. Not necessarily part of the prediction because we're not going to know until it happens, but I think actually I do have that as okay, never mind. I'll hold on that because I do have it as a prediction because it piggybacks with what I said earlier. So I'll hold.
Okay.
All right. So kind of like going along with some of you guys here with the Mario movie thing, I've kind of deemed this the next 4 predictions, which kind of touches on some of the things you guys said, as part of my year of Mario predictions. I have 4 predictions that go along with this, and this is all because of the movie. And I'm going to get this out of the way, and because you guys said it too, the Donkey Kong game. Because I think that is coming because of the movie as well. But that's one of, I think it's part of the whole year of Mario thing. So, but I think we're getting the Donkey Kong game this year.
All right, Justin.
A couple things I want to say before I jump this. Hawk over in YouTube, thank you so much for those very kind words. Robbie Bobby Miller, hey, what's going on? Thanks for being here, and thank you for being a new Patreon supporter as well. Thank you so much, man. It's great to see everyone in here, just killing it. By the way, I see some fantastic predictions in here too. All right, I like being champ can sometimes the weight of it is so heavy, right?
You don't even have the belt on your head on your.
I know, but I know how heavy it is.
Guys, we're gonna have to hear this for a solid year
for sure. So I like to get a little bit more because I think everyone's like, oh, it's too easy. Justin just wins every time. I'm gonna get some predictions out there. I'm gonna give them some details, which is a little bit more. All right. Hey, you don't like Advanced Wars? Good news. You're going to be playing it before the end of March 31st, 2023. Advanced Wars will release before March 31st, 2023.
I sure hope you're correct.
Also, speaking of games that are going to release that are not yet on a calendar, but Nintendo's going to put it on a calendar, Pikmin 4 will release before June 30th, 2023 as well. So those are 2 dates of games that you can put in your calendar.
Nice. My second of the 4 Year of the Mario predictions, again, I'm pulling this from my last prediction that didn't come true, is we are getting a Mario game, but it's a Mario 2D game.
Okay. So earlier I said I think the next console will be announced, but not yet released. So as part of that announcement, they're going to talk about what they're going to do for that system's subscription. That's where I think they're going to add the next retro hardware emulation.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Kind of like what they did when the new 3DS came out and you could get Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
On that.
Yep.
Okay.
On that only.
Yep. On that only. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So again, stealing my predictions. Jesse swooping in here with the no more systems for Nintendo Switch Online. So if you'll just copy that one over, I actually have 2 fresh predictions because I've got 7 left.
Wow.
Yeah. So these and here we go. I'm going to do this. My first prediction was that the Mario movie would become the #1 highest grossing animated movie of all time. Let me come through with 2 more movie related predictions for you. Number 1, Nintendo, based on the success of the Mario movie, will announce their next animated feature by the end of 2023.
Okay.
And number 2, there will be a Mario movie inspired Mario Kart level in one of the remaining DLC packs.
Oh, so spicy. So spicy.
I like that. That's nice.
I'm hoping that happens.
Right.
All right.
Okay. So I am out of the predictions I had prepared. So I will use this one to do, as I said, if there's a counter, I'll count it as my prediction. I'm going to say no DK.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. You monkey hater.
Not wrong.
All right. Number 3 of your Mario predictions is we are going to get this is going to be a crazy one. You guys ready? We're going to get a new Mario paint for the Switch.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love how you swing for the fences sometimes.
And great. That could also come with an accessory, which will match his other prediction.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Justin. Are you just making them up as you go, or you
I've
have
got
these
two.
written down?
I've got two more down, but I've got a couple that have been floating around in my head that I can pull out here.
Okay.
Because I've got a sort of like the chicken wiggle final. Like this is not. I have one of those near the end that I'm gonna end off with. So I'm layering these now. We are actually gonna see. This is a fun one. Legend of Zelda Lego sets for the first time this year.
Product stuff. Gotcha. Nice.
And
Please,
yeah,
add to my Nintendo Legos. Yes.
yeah. And then the other one I would say is the Detective Pikachu will be coming to the Nintendo Switch this year.
You just made that up after I mentioned that tweet.
No, I had that one on my list actually.
Okay. All right. Fair play. Fair play.
Nice. All right. My fourth and final Year of Mario prediction is, and this is one that kind of goes with the sports games that we get this year, or around this time of year, or around the every year. We get a new Mario Hoops game.
Who's developing it?
I'm not part of that's not part of my prediction. Camelot.
2K.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Well, here's what I think you're right on, Tim.
Square Enix.
I'll as a former champion, I'll throw the current champion. I'll throw one for the former. I think you can make an argument that I think Camelot is due for a sports game for Mario, and I think it'd be like a Mario sports mix where it is a bunch of Mario sports related mini games that they've thrown together.
Yeah,
that seems pretty. So if there was a Mario, like, has there been a Mario Hoops in the past, or is that something new that you just made?
Yeah, no, it's 3-on-3. 3-on-3.
I wouldn't
be a DS game, I think.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be shocked if Camelot has got that for sports, and it comes out in June, right? Just where all those other sports games come out. So that wouldn't be shocking.
Now you got me thinking. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. I guess it's Tim's turn.
No, that was mine.
No, that was his turn. Yeah. I currently don't have anything new. If I think of something, I'll pop in.
Okay. I'll do two here. Maybe this piggybacks off of Justin's, but I already had it written down. I believe that we will get a Super Nintendo Lego set to go along with the NES.
Oh, I would get that.
That'd be
I would
nice,
totally.
yeah.
That one I didn't get the Nintendo one, but if there's a Super Nintendo one, I would save all my coins for that one.
My second prediction for this round, this will be the year of F-Zero's revival.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
And back to Jesse or Tim.
Tim, go ahead.
All right, I'm bringing it back. I have to because I want it.
Yep.
I predicted it last year. It didn't come true, but I want it to come true again. Maybe this falls under the keep Nintendo weird, but I don't know. A new Nintendo Dogs comes to the Switch this year. It's gotta be there.
When they did the second one, they added a second animal. Like they had Nintendo Dogs and cats.
Yeah, I mean it's still part of that.
Dogs and Nintendo
they could
cats.
do Nintendo Dogs and
what's
horses.
going to be the third animal?
Fortnite crossover with a llama
and hamsters. I don't know. It could be whatever.
Maybe it's Nintendo Dogs, Nintendo cats, and Nintendo narwhals.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I said it'll be llamas, and it'll be a Fortnite crossover.
Oh, if it was llamas, I'm down.
Nintendo Dogs Battle Royale
llamas.
Coming to the Nintendo Switch.
99 dogs in her one leaves. Okay, Justin.
I'm running out, so I'm going to give you the two that I do have. Somerville will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, and Outer Wilds will not be released in 2020.
You said that just because you want to see it come. You think it's been canceled? Not a part of your predictions, but do you think they gave up on it?
I don't know. I think
or you think maybe they're like, we'll wait until Nintendo comes out with the Switch 2.
I'm starting to wonder where some of the developers maybe begin to start thinking some of those things are starting to move away from their support potentially. I don't really know, but I'm gonna just say it's not coming. I'm happy to be wrong on this one.
Right.
If it does show up, but I'm like, listen, like this has been a while.
Maybe it's just like it's not at a place where they needed it to be or wanted it to be. So they were like, no, what, we're not gonna release it. And then they were like, oh wait, look, No Man's Sky, they did a really good job on that. Let's go talk to them and get some help.
Yeah, it's tough to say, but yeah.
All right, good guess. All right. Another one. You know what? I'm not going to read that one. I won't. I'll mention it after we're done. It's not going to be part of my predictions. But my last one, because I think I have a lot already. My last one is going to be another crazy prediction. Do you guys remember that game, The Conduit, for the Wii?
Yeah.
Conduit comes to the Switch in 2023. A new.
That is a pull. That is a dark horse pull.
Right. That's more of me hoping that they do, because I actually had fun with that game. I mean, it may not have been.
Is that your final prediction?
Yes, that's my final one. I had another one, but it's another pullback one that and just like, yeah, I don't know if it happens.
Why don't you just go look? I've got 3 left. Why don't you just go on and do it and we'll finish up?
All right. It's the one pulling it back is the Game Boy one. I really think that's
Game Boy coming to NSO.
Game Boy coming to NSO. Okay. Yes.
I don't think it is, but I would love to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jesse, do you have any more?
I think I've tapped out.
All right. Here's my 3 in order of maybe obvious to never mind. Oh no, here they are. I'm just gonna dump them out there. AAA third-party development support will dry up for the Switch in 2023. They're just not going to be able to panic button.
Well, in other words, the same thing as happened in the Wii U after 3 months.
Yeah. Number two, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom DLC will be available by the end of 2023.
I feel like they're going to announce that DLC prior to Tears of the Kingdom being released in a Zelda specific Tears of the Kingdom direct blowout.
Right. But it'll be available by the end of the year.
Yeah, sure. We'll have a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom direct blowout.
I like that. And last but not least, the greatest prediction that could be made: Vampire Survivors will come to the Switch in 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's a pretty.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think they've been pretty open about that, haven't they?
I mean, it's on mobile. Come on, guys.
Did you hear why? So I was listening to Kind of Funny actually just this week, and they were talking about an article they had read. A bunch of people had basically stolen the code of the game and were putting out mobile ports using the original code, just calling it like something else. So he's like, I didn't have intentions to do a mobile game this quickly, and the other part was he was trying to partner with someone who he didn't want to monetize it. He just wanted to just because it's free to play, right? And nobody was like, no, you should monetize. He's like, no. So he wasn't really pushing the mobile port. And then a bunch of people stole the code, put out their own versions of it. And he's like, well, now I kind of have to put it out. And so then he had to push his team to push towards the mobile port. So they kind of had to pivot that way. So
that's unfortunate.
The thing is, I just realized this week that the mobile edition on my iPhone has Backbone support.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it explicitly that it's supported, but put that bad boy on there and play some Vampire Survivors. It's fantastic.
Nice. All
right. I'm obsessed. But those are my predictions, more than I've ever had.
I'm going to throw another one because Ebicel just reminded me, Ninfrendo, Marvel Snap comes to Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
I've got some other hot takes. You want some more of these hotties? I'm throwing them out.
Here's a hot take. Marvel Snap won't come to Nintendo Switch.
All right.
Because you don't have to put that on as a prediction. I'm just saying it's not happening because of the always on mobile internet connection.
You said you don't want that as an official prediction?
I don't.
I'll take I'll take mine as an official prediction. That is
right. No, I was talking to Marty.
Okay.
Yeah, Marty's like, no.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll talk about that when I talk about what I've been playing. There's something similar happens there, and it's really that kind of bugs me. But looks like we have our predictions documented, and we'll come back in 52 weeks and see how bad we did.
Yeah, exactly right. Do we want to not do what we've been playing this week? Just because this is a 2 hour show already. I think
that's a great idea.
Okay,
we'll talk about what we've been playing for the next 2 weeks on next week's show.
Yeah,
but
yeah, because this will be the second week.
Yeah, we didn't do it last week either.
Weeks. Okay,
4 weeks because we had a week off.
We've been playing in the last month. On next
it'll be just
show.
An episode full of what we've been playing.
Hey, that's fine with us. That's fine.
Then if we're not going to do what we've been playing, can I still kind of throw in kind of status updates on other projects I've been working on? Okay. So a few weeks ago, I mentioned the GB Interceptor, which was like a DIY kit where I had to order the PCBs and order other external parts, and I had a 3D print the case and stuff. I have all the parts in. The only thing I have to do is solder the cartridge connector on and assemble it. And I'm kind of nervous about soldering since I've never done it before successfully. So my wife said, why don't you try like doing something as a little practice? So I ordered 2 like beginner level DIY kits that will involve soldering off of Amazon. Haven't gotten around to putting them together yet. So my goal in the next few weeks is to build those kits to get the practice in the soldering so I can start to then build the GB interceptors and then get them sent out to the people who said they wanted one. And if you're interested in them and haven't reached out to me yet, please do. They are not all accounted for of the 20 units that I ordered, so you can go ahead and do that. Along with when I get around to testing them, it's similar to the Playdate where you can output video but not audio. So I have to get audio from an alternate source. When this project started, the only Game Boy I had was an SP, which doesn't have an audio out. So I had to kind of find another solution. So I ordered this off of eBay, a new, a refurbished Game Boy Color that actually has like an IPS screen mod on it. So it's got a really nice screen.
Nice.
And with it, I picked up an EverDrive. So I can just install some ROMs on it and then play and test out several games without having to cartridge swap. So I've got toys to play with.
That's great.
Nice. Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay, so that was the project updates that I wanted to throw out there.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, now that those are done, let's turn on the community spotlight, shall we?
All right, so this is where we talk about all the wonderful things that our community is doing, including, and I'll mention this since we didn't do the event section, I'll throw it in here, but our community does the Discord community events where we do the breakfast table, which we did just this past Wednesday, which was our breakfast table is every second Wednesday of the month. And the next one that's coming up is Wednesday, February 8th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That one isn't as long as the dinner table because most of us are at work. So we are on within the hour, whether we're done with like for me, I came on right after I was done with my meeting. It was done in 15 minutes. So I came and jumped on, and a few others jumped on, including Seth from All In Gaming and Nintendo Drive. He was on there. Um, John was on there from the Dads After Dark, and Marty. Were you on there? No, wait. What did I miss?
I didn't get to be.
You didn't get to be on there. So I'm trying to remember. Somebody else just showed up, and I can't remember. Darn it! But we had a handful of us there. We're just chit chatting, talking about the. We were talking about food. Oh, it was Eston. Eston came in, and we were talking about lots of food. So I got pretty hungry after we were done there. But if you want to join on any of the tables, you have to be a Discord member. In order to be a Discord member, you have to join either via our Patreon. You have to subscribe there or subscribe via Twitch. And then you can join in through Discord, and you can be part of the breakfast table, which is again every second Wednesday of the month. And then also upcoming is the dinner table, which is every third Friday of the month, which falls on January 20th of this month. And it's at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And that one goes as long as we need it to. We've been on till like 4 a.m. sometimes. And then other times we've all left at 1 a.m. So, but it goes as long as we need to, as long as, everybody's up for it and all that. So lots of fun. Come join in with us on that. And again, you can find us in Discord, and those events are listed there too in Discord. Also, we have our Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. We have quite a few of them, and recently our nintendodads.org page has been updated to reflect all of our family of podcasts now. So it's got the Game Pass news, which covers a lot of Xbox stuff. That's our friends Nick and Sean who cover that. That also covers Dad's After Dark show, which is John and Drew, who talk about things that is not safe for the kids. So keep that in mind when you listen to them. And then there's the Retro Logic shows, which they have their own family of shows, which is Retro Logic, On Topic Retro, Retro Groove, and Film Logic. Again, all of these different podcasts are listed on our nintendodads.org website. You can go check that out by clicking on those links, or look for those titles I mentioned as well in your favorite podcast feed. Also keep a lookout for a lot of contests that our community runs, like the Dads After Dark show. They do the monthly mayhem. I don't think they released the newest one just yet, but it's soon. They've been hinting at some things there. And then Game Pass News also has achievement hunters that they're asking for Game Pass people, Xboxers to join in on, and you can win prizes there as well. And then on to our questions we get in the community, especially in Discord. We got a few in Discord, one in Patreon. And I thought there was one in email, but I guess not. So questions in Discord, first from Mecha Dragon. Do any of you dads have fun, crazy, or embarrassing birthday stories to share? Bonus points if it involves video games. Marty's got his hand up. Go for it, Marty.
Oh yeah. So let me date this for you because it was the release of Kirby's Dream Land 2 for the Game Boy. So this would have happened in 1995. 15 years old, I invite my friend Lee over, and we head to Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, which is like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's more rural and local. And they have recently built this new area called Gaddyland, which is like an arcade, right? So it's buffet pizza, blah, blah, blah. We go there. It's me, my mom, my dad, and Lee. And we go there and we're eating and we're having a great time. And my mom gets this pizza that's like a spinach dip pizza, right? Like you know what spinach dip looks like? It's like like cream cheese, bean through it. And my dad very loudly declares, as it was like they bring her a piece to the table, it's like, looks like somebody already ate it once, and all this stuff. But that's not the thing. I remember getting Kirby's Dream Land 2. I remember eating a massive amount of horrible buffet pizza. and getting home and throwing up everywhere because I ate so much pizza. And then it was like
Wow.
1 minute I'm playing. I got Kirby's Dream Land 2 for my birthday. 1 minute I'm playing it. The next minute, I'm throwing up everywhere. Clean it up. Go back to play Kirby's Dream Land 2. That my forever my memory of Kirby's Dream Land 2 is tainted by birthday vomit. So
Nice.
there you go. I don't like those
Lovely
animals
thoughts.
that Kirby gets, like he's friends with in those games. They make me think of vomit.
Nice.
I don't know if I can top that story. I can't even think of a story actually. So what about you guys?
I have a story, not game related, so I don't get bonus points, but was my 25th birthday. The people I worked with at my my first full-time job took me out to lunch. Don't remember where it was, a small little hole in the wall somewhere. We only had a half-hour break, so it was something quick. So when we're done with our food, everyone sang happy birthday. The person behind the counter came up and said, "I don't mean to intrude, but I'm a music major, and I have never heard a group of people sing happy birthday in key until today."
Wow.
And it's not like this, I'm in a group of developers and salespeople. None of us are, musically inclined by occupation. Maybe hobbies, I don't know. But that just caught me off guard that, oh, okay, they actually sung it well.
That's cool. I have one that's embarrassing that is not game related, and it's pretty funny. It's I would turn 5, and I was also getting baptized at a Catholic church, and all the family was there, and I decided at 5, as soon as I got baptized, that I had to release gas. So yes, I just farted in this old school Catholic church. And if you know what an old school Catholic church is, they are large.
They're designed for
acoustics. They are acoustics that echo.
And that fart was so loud that everybody was laughing so hard. And I was so embarrassed. But I was laughing because I was embarrassed too. But it was great. That's one that always stuck with me. And it's like, I'll never forget that moment.
I may have told this story on the show before, and I know it has nothing to do with what we're really talking about, but I feel like this is a really great time to tell the story about my dad that I will always remember. How many of you guys have ever been in have you ever eaten in a Subway sandwich restaurant, like the Subway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, back in the 90s, it had like wallpaper that looked like newspaper. It was like black and white, and it had like pictures of old subway stations and things like that. And it had these booths that had like plastic yellow seating.
Yes.
Right. Like vinyl, like countertop type seating. So we like Subway was not like local to us. So it was like kind of like a big deal. Like we'd go out like for a night in Nashville or Bellevue, which was close to us. And we would go eat Subway and like go to the mall or something like that on a Friday night or Saturday night. And there was this used CD store that was there. So that'll date this too. Yep. It was called, I forget what it was called. But I was in there and I'd gone in to like browse the used CDs or maybe sell some of mine for credit or everything. And we had been eating at Subway. I had finished, and my mom comes in and her face is beet red. Like I've never seen her this flushed. And so I'm like thinking something's wrong because she hurries in and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? And she said, "Your dad." And I said, "What? Is he okay?
Is there an end to this sentence?"
And she said, she looked at me and she kind of pulled me to the side and she goes, "Your dad sat down in the booth at Subway and farted and it went blah, 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 all over the restaurant. And everyone turned and looked at us. And I said, and what did you do? She said, I got up, I took my sandwich, I threw it in the trash, and I walked out. I said, where's Dad? She said, he's still there eating his sandwich. That fart echoed off the plastic into like, she said it was the loudest thing she'd ever heard in her life.
That's awesome.
Should have told that at his funeral. Anyway. No, I shouldn't have. That would.
All right. So I think I might have a potential title here, since we have two stories that are similar.
Subway fart.
Acoustical flatulence.
Yes. I love it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a good
All right.
one. That's a good one.
Justin,
Okay.
I'm thinking you don't have one, or
Don't.
all right. All right, I'll move on to the next question. The next one is from Zablanc. John from Dads After Dark. What one thing would Nintendo have to do to get you to leave them forever? For me, it'd be turning their characters more gritty and realistic. Maybe chest hair and Mario.
Oh,
So that would make him leave, is if there's chest hair and Mario.
well, I mean,
so.
look, we've already seen Mario's nipples in the last.
Yeah, and people were offended by that.
Yes. So what would make you make you leave Nintendo? Like say, okay, that's it, Nintendo, I'm done.
You know, honestly,
forever.
I don't. The only thing that'll make me stop playing Nintendo games is if Nintendo stopped making games. I honestly, we've seen damn well.
That was actually going to be my answer. Like going at third party, becoming a third party developer.
Oh, I wouldn't even stop me if they still made games for Xbox. I'd still play them, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't think of anything that they could do at this point with everything I've seen over the years that would say, yeah, no, that's not for me.
I would kind of agree in regards to like the maturing up of their products would be the best way that I could probably use that statement. Right. Like what I mean by that in some ways is like I'm thinking like deciding to become a hard M with some of their products. So I think of like, let's over sexualize Princess Peach and Daisy and really move away from that child family friendly pocket that they live in and really move to like just a hard grittiness to it. I think that would probably be like, hey, like the reason that I play Nintendo specific games is because it's family friendly, right? That we enjoy it, right? We can like, I don't mind listening to Waluigi or Wario, yeah, and some farts and stuff like that when playing Mario Party. But if all of a sudden it became like just kind of transition the other way, I don't know, I'd probably be out then because then I think you're everything else, right? Like that's why Nintendo has a different lane than Xbox and PlayStation. The audience and how they do their product, their character, how you view it is different. And so I think that would change things.
That's where mine is right there is the if Nintendo gets away from being different from everything else, right? So it's they become samey. They do what we just argued about what Ubisoft was doing, right? They start, trying to churn out Mario games every year or something and become samey. Or just
well, yeah, if that happens, I may not play a specific game or two. It doesn't mean I'm completely shut off from.
Yeah, I don't know about the forever part either, because there was a time where I was like, Nintendo 64. I did not get a Nintendo 64. I had the opportunity to, and I chose the PS1. So I started going down the PlayStation path at that point because I couldn't afford both systems. And I decided at that point, you know what? I'm going to go because at the time, I was like, I'm done with cartridges. I see technology getting better on the CD format. I just saw I saw the future more in the PlayStation than I did in Nintendo's product at the time. So there's always that potential of having that break from Nintendo, but that's really hard to think of for forever.
Yeah. I'm going to give you another one. John actually kind of came to me recently as we began to think about this new iteration of what this new system could be for Nintendo. I am at a point in my life where sounds bad. I don't want to do this journey again. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I have the amount of times that I have paid for Super Mario 2, the amount of games I have in my catalog over here. Like if Nintendo comes out and they're doing the new presentation, they're like, by the way, our games are on mini discs and it is not backwards compatible, and we no longer support Nintendo Switch Online, and none of those things carry forward.
So they're going to go the PSP route,
like all those like completely anti-consumer. For I think for me, I'd be like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, the next console had better be mini cartridges, or at least backwards compatible, where I can pop my Breath of the Wild in and I can play it. And it better be that my Nintendo Switch online account, what I have access to, the games I have bought, all of those things move forward. Because that for me is now becoming a real, like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not buying more copies of the same game. I'm not like, so you got to be better.
Yeah, so in case the successor isn't backward compatible, I'm not going to be happy, but I'm still going to buy it.
Listen, it may be enough for me to be like, I'm out. I'm done.
Listen,
I'm
retiring. You're talking to a man here who's still waiting on the Intellivision.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh no, I've written that off.
Nice.
Makes sense. Oh. All right. So next question. Koopa Kid 80. Ubisoft says Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Just Dance 2023 underperformed. Cuts announced titles, reduces spending. My question for the dads is, what Nintendo first-party titles franchises underperformed sales-wise eons ago and were relegated to the trash bin? Sadly, I'm looking at you, Wave Race, F-Zero, and Eternal Darkness.
Pilot Wings is another great example of it.
Chibi Robo.
Yeah, Chibi Robo is a great example of it. I would argue.
Wind Waker.
I would even say Metroid at some point. Yeah, because we kept wanting it after.
You know, one people aren't going to want to hear, but it's true. Rhythm Heaven.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to see if that one comes back too.
I mean, here's the other interesting part is that, like, Fire Emblem was just about in the bin.
Yeah,
right? Fire Emblem was real close to being in the bin.
Yeah, and Awakening got that back. Yeah, I think Wind Waker probably qualifies. I don't GameCube didn't perform well, so they probably had low sales overall. People didn't like the graphical art style when it launched, but it's now a relatively beloved game, and many Zelda fans consider it best game, if not top 3.
Golden Sun was another example of that. Advanced Wars, I'm going to argue, was another example of that.
Probably.
Right? So, yeah.
Not probably. Definitely.
Great question there. All right. So, last question comes from Patreon. David Belica, isn't that Koopa Kid as well?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So, he's got another question for us. With 89% of the games in the UK, GB being sold as digital and the video game space going more digital versus physical every year, do the dads think Nintendo will release a digital only Switch? How much storage do you think it would have? 32 gigs? Joking. And do you think it would be released at a reduced price, such as Sony and Microsoft digital only consoles?
No.
And Ebicel replied, reduced price.
Yeah, first, they're not reducing price. Second thing is that is too revolutionary for Nintendo. Again, they are a conservative company. They're not giving and they make money off of cartridges, right? Like, so you can buy a cartridge or you can buy digitally. Like they want every avenue for you to be able to buy it that way. And they also have to realize their demographics, and they've shown their recent demographics get our children. So you're gonna have physical versionings of it. So
see,
I don't.
That's where my counter comes in, is where I think that because of children and that issue with cartridges, that there's a potential that Nintendo may look at that and do a Switch Lite version that is digital only, not the main dockable version, but a Switch Lite OLED that's digital only. And I mentioned this on to the
I made the PSP joke earlier,
thing.
but now we're in PSP Go territory.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's why I don't think it could ever happen. Is sure there's the card, right? The little micro SD card that can expand the storage out, but a PlayStation 5 digital edition, though it is not portable, still has an 825 gigabyte hard drive in it, right?
Again, now, depending on what games you install, you get 4 games on it if you get the right 4 games on it.
And you know, if Nintendo did go the digital route, I mean, like if it comes true that my prediction of AAA developers drying up on the Switch or ending their support, there's just not a lot of reason to do it. I just can't see it happening.
Well, again, I see your guys' point, but I also see it as, what's the word, plausible, because of cloud as well, the option of cloud and also being digital only. And I think it would fit well with the Lite.
If anything, they missed the boat with the Nintendo Switch Lite, letting it be handheld only, digital only. That would have been the only passable way to do it. But
yeah, I don't think they're going to do this, but if they do, they would have to have probably 128 gig storage. Because OLEDs now have 64, but a lot of people. I think a lot of people who aren't us will not realize you can add more storage. And even though if they did, that storage is slightly slower than internal NAD. So if they're going to do something that's, because unlike, as I said earlier, unlike PS5 and Xbox, Switch games, the code on the carts is actually executable and run off the cart.
Yeah.
Well, I got one. Here's an idea, and I'm going along with what Tech Mike is saying here. Here's the new Switch OLED Lite Xbox Game Pass Cloud Edition.
That would be the only way that I would end up seeing it, would be if it was what I would call, they'd call it like the Nintendo Cloud Edition or Nintendo Cloud Switch Cloud, or whatever you want to call it.
So it'd be like a Chromecast. It's like $20.
No, where it's like the Logitech handheld device, and
Nintendo would certainly play on that name,
and it requires a always on connectivity and all, and it would be very specifically targeted for like the Japanese markets, right? That I could see. Mm-hmm. That and there'd be some kind of like subscription where that's how you get cloud games, sort of like Game Pass. That I could maybe see. And it'd be like a tiered approach to your Nintendo Switch Online, right? Like you get Nintendo Switch Online for an extra $20 a year, you get the cloud, and that allows for you to, I don't know, take all that stuff. So
maybe they slap in a 5G antenna.
Yeah,
maybe.
Here it is, Nintendo Switch Vampire Survivors Edition. It just plays Vampire Survivors.
Always connected.
That's it. It's a Vampire Survivors themed Switch that only plays that 24/7. Never can turn it off. It just runs itself. There you go. That's all the time. Vampire Survivors 24/7. Well, speaking of 24/7, this show is getting a little long in the tooth. We want to thank you for hanging out with us for episode 409 with our 2023 predictions. And we want to say a huge congratulations to the winner of the Nintendo Dads Prediction Championship for 2022, Mr. Justin Masson. It just means, folks, that you're going to have to hear about how right he is for the rest of the year. We also want to say a huge thanks to all of our followers, especially our patrons over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, and our awesome Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, RJ Kern, and Jacqueline Amira, who you will hear on the show sometime in the very near future. I want to say also thanks to our YouTube and Twitch followers. YouTube over 6,600 now, Twitch over almost at 1,400. And to our 14 Twitch subscribers who throw a Twitch Prime subscription our way, note they also get access to our Discord, and we're thankful for them as well. You can head over to manscaped.com and get 20% off your order and free shipping with the code NINDADS. It's an NINDADS. And reminder that you can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And reminder, wherever you download and listen to your podcast, this podcast, whatever your app of choice is or service of choice is, be sure to go on there, leave us a 5-star review, and, say some nice words. Say some nice words. And you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Justin likes to throw money around. I'm going to throw money around here at the end of the show. If you do a brand new review of the Nintendo Dads podcast within the month of January, you'll be entered to win a $20 eShop card, courtesy of the Dads. Thanks, guys, for listening to episode 409. For me, for Justin, for Tim, and Jesse, this has been Nintendo Dads. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you later.
2022 champion of the world.
That was me. Year 2023.
No, I'm 2022. You were 2021. That's how this works.
Wait. Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who's right again? This guy. Who has 2 thumbs and is right? This guy.
Oh, I'm tired of it already.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.